your name and have a seat. Find your name and have a seat. Today's lesson, we are going to be learning about something old. And you can say, Mr. Backus, why are we learning about something old in technology class? And I'm going to take this, please, and I'll give it back to you at the end. Don't worry. I'll just put it right here. So we're learning about something old. We're learning about something called Morse code. Okay, raise your hand and tell me, has anyone ever heard of Morse? Well, first just tell me if you've heard of Morse code. If you've even heard of it, not even if you know what it is. Okay, keep your hand up if you think you maybe know what it is. You think you maybe know what it is. Saad, what do you think it is?
I don't know.
Okay, now, what do you think it is? You can guess. It is like a code, yes. What else can you guess about it?
Wait, what's it called? Is it like
Morse code. Morse code. What else can you say about it? What do you think? Ziad?
I'm guessing. Is it
Yeah.
like a code that's like that doesn't know power or something?
Okay, it is a code. And Mr. Matt, what do you think, Daniel?
I think it's used to send messages.
To send messages,
In
yes.
a different way. I think
Yes.
they use it in the military.
Okay, so we're going to watch a couple of quick videos. The first video I want to show you is actually about Morse code. The second video, as I said, is from the Big Bang Theory. It's going to be a bit more fun. Okay? Sorry, I'm in a class right now. What do you need? Okay. The second video is going to be from Big Bang Theory. Okay? I'll need to plug this in for him. There we go. Okay, so let's have a look at this first video. It's about Morse code. Okay. It was invented a long time ago, and it's currently called obsolete.
I know.
Morse code was invented as transmitting. Hello world.
So you just saw some Morse code. What that was is some of the first ways that we were able to communicate back in the 1800s, long distances. Is that what you were going to guess, Daniel?
Yeah, because I know they use it in the military to sign some.
Yes.
Which is like they did SOS. But I forgot,
Yes.
like,
SOS is one of the most famous codes.
Yeah.
Okay? So what this code is, this is way before Snapchat, way before email, way before the internet. We would have two pieces of communication areas between one another. Could be a long cable between them, and it could be sound or it could be light. And both of these were able to communicate using what's called Morse code. Okay? So I've got a quick video we're going to look at here from the Big Bang Theory. Communicate to the other guy there, Howard, that's his name, Howard, without his girlfriend knowing, because he thinks his girlfriend doesn't know Morse code. That's why he's blinking his eyes in that particular way. One other cool thing I want to show you is that, have you guys ever heard of Thomas Edison? He's an inventor, right? Okay? Thomas Edison actually proposed to his wife using Morse code. And how he did that is that he tapped on her hand like this. She knew Morse code, and he knew Morse code, and he could communicate with her and other people that were in the car. She was not, no, but there were other people in the car that he did not want them to see or hear what they were talking about, right? Because if you don't know Morse code, and I'm tapping on Azad's hand, he can feel what I'm tapping, and he knows what I'm saying if he knows Morse code. I'm going to give you a paper, and this paper has got all of Morse code on it. There are two parts to Morse code. One is a dot, and one is a dash. A dot is quick little blip like this, and a dash is holding it a little bit longer. Okay, that is what Morse code is. You wait a small second in between each letter, and that is how you transmit Morse code. What we're going to do is we're going to use the spheros make a Morse code message, and then you're going to program that message into the Sphero, and then the other person who is your partner next to you, that I've purposely put papers out for, will be able to decode your message. Yes, Daniel, what's your question?
Will it be like the sphere lighting up?
Yes. So the Sphero does two things. It will light up and it will make a little clicking sound. It will do both things so that you're able to figure out which one you want to use. Okay, so I'm going to disconnect here and I'm going to connect up to my Sphero app. So let me show you a little bit about how this works.
So why can't I play the drone?
2054. Okay, Nye, thank you for your question, but we're going to go and do this instead. So what I'm looking at here is a program that is already created for you guys, okay? So yeah, why don't you hand one of these papers out to everybody, okay? Hand one out to everybody. What we're looking at here is a code on the Spheros that says high five. We're looking at this code. What this code is going to enable us to do is that we can put these letters here, and you can look at your sheet and correspond those letters to the dots and the dashes, so that you can actually create the Morse code or read the Morse code yourself. So we've got all parts of this code that I want to take a quick look at. Look at each letter. Let's look at the letter W. Do you guys see the letter W up there on the board?
Yes.
Let's take a look at your sheet. Tell me, what is the letter W on your sheet? Yara, can you close that until I say that you're ready to?
It's dot,
Please.
line.
Okay, what is the letter W? Asa.
No, dot, dash, dash.
Okay, it is dot, how many times? One, and dash, how many times? Two. Okay, let's pick a different letter. Let's pick the letter S, okay? Who can tell me about the letter S? Daniel.
The letter S.
The letter S is what?
It's 3 dots.
3 dots, that's right. So this program has already got that all in there for you. So what I need to do is look at the very top, and you can see that this program, which is already there, is going to spell for me using Morse code high five. I'm going to connect up to this Sphero, and we're going to see how it looks. This is going to connect to this Sphero I'm holding right here. A dot is going to be red, and it's going to be short. A dash is going to be long, and it's going to be red. Yes, Layla?
What if you want to talk what's good about numbers?
That's an excellent question. I did not give you the numbers, but there are numbers as well. That's an excellent question. Okay, so this is my Morse code here that I've got in here that says high five. Let's look at what it sounds like here. E. Okay, so what you've just seen is high five in Morse code on this Sphero. Okay, Daniel, did you have a question?
Yeah, how do you know if it's a dot or dash again?
So the dot, remember, is the one blink with the blue. The dash is longer, it is with pink. Okay? So the dot is the blue dash, the dot is just a quick blue blink, and the red is the dash, it is longer. So that's what allows us to tell the difference. And then you can see there was a small space in between each letter, and then a longer space in between each word. Okay? So that is what we're going to do today. All of you can see on the sheet in front of you that you're first going to create a message, and then you're going to try and decode the message of the other person who I partnered you with. What kind of message do you think is good to send? What kind of message would you want to send? Think about it. Zia, what do you think? What would you say? What would you say to now?
Hello.
Hello. That's an excellent message. What else would you say, Layla?
How are you?
How are you? That's a good message too, but you know what? I like Ziad's message better. Do you want to know why? Why might I like Ziad's message better? Yes, because it's shorter. Absolutely. I would be able to send hello a lot more quickly than I could say,
I know.
hi, how are you, how is the weather? Yes, Saad, what would you do?
Oi.
Oi. Okay, you could do that. How about just sup? You can make anything super small so that you can create your short message. Then it's easier for you to transmit and easier for the person on the other end to receive. So what we'll do now is I want to guide you guys through going into the Morse code program on on your iPads so that we're all in the same place. Once we're there, then we'll be able to collect the spheros and you can do the coding and the decoding, okay? So we talked also at the beginning of class about encoding and decoding. Daniel, go ahead.
Could I use another iPad because my iPad is school.
I'll give you one of mine, don't worry.
But
So,
school system now has the.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll give you one of mine if it doesn't work, okay? Azat, can you remind us about the word encode?
Oh, when you code it and then
Yes.
when you decode it.
So encode is when you take something that we're using, like words, and turn it into what the computers can understand, right? Okay, how about decode? Decode. I'll give you a big hint, it's the opposite of encode. Layla, what do you think?
When you turn the message into real.
Yes, when you take the computerized message and you put it back into language that people can understand. That's decode. So we've got encoding and decoding that's going to happen. On your sheet, you're going to encode at the top, then you're going to be able to decode your partner's message at the bottom. If you don't have a pen or pencil, you can borrow. Okay, so grade 5. I need everyone's attention up front. Okay, that means if your iPad is open, you can close it down. Okay. The first thing I'd like to know is what are some examples of messages that you were able to send? Okay. So Azat, would you close? Sorry, Yara, would you close that? Your iPad message?
Oh, did your message go?
Yara, thank you. Okay. What are some examples of messages you were able to send? What were you able to send? 9.
I said food time.
You said it's time for food. Awesome. Okay. How about another message that you were able to send? Azad, is your hand up or are you just stretching? Okay. Zia.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. So let's think. Okay. One more. Layla. Sup. Okay. Awesome. One thing that I want you guys to think about is imagine if you didn't have Snapchat, you didn't have WhatsApp, you didn't even have email, and this was the way that you had to communicate with your friends who lived a long distance away. If you lived in the 1850s, okay? How would your communication be different with your friends? How would your communication be different if this is how you had to communicate? Azat, what do you think?
Actually, yeah, you'd have to use your brain.
You have to use your brain?
Yeah.
Yeah? Exactly. How else do you think your communication would be different? Layla?
You won't need to learn to read because
You can't read, but you need to put the letters together, right? Yeah, right. You would still need to do that. What do you guys think? Saad, how would your communication be different?
you can't send long messages.
You can't send long messages. Absolutely.
It takes so long.
Now, let me ask you this, Saad. If you did this every day to communicate with your friends who lived far away, do you think that you would be able to send more than one word in 30 minutes?
No.
Do you think you get pretty quick at it? I bet you would. Absolutely, I bet you would. I bet you guys would get really, really quick at it, okay? So you would get really quick and you'd be able to send these messages very quickly. And you'd be able to decode them very quickly. You remember those first 2 words that we talked about? Encode meaning to put the information into the code for the computer. Decode meaning taking it out. All right, so we are just about finished with our class, grade 5. You need to take your Sphero to the back and charge it, and then you're going to give me your completed paper right here. If you haven't finished, that's okay. I just want to see what you have done so far. So you're going to give me this paper on your way out of the class. All right, tell you what, how about I give it back to you next week? Is that okay? Thank you, Nadine.
You have to.
Yeah? All right, thank you, Saad. let me take a picture of this, and then you come back after school, I'll give it to you, okay?